Hi everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and today I want to talk about the hallmarks of a twin flame relationship. So many of us have heard this term twin flame recently, and there is a fine line between a twin flame relationship and a karmic relationship or a false karmic twin. And so in order to kind of know the difference, I thought maybe we could talk about this because a karmic relationship can very easily mirror a twin flame connection, but there is no other twin other than your actual mirror souls. So a twin flame relationship will carry with it this instant connection. It's going to feel like home, and a twin flame connection is going to change your life for the better, but in the very beginning, it's going to tear down all of your walls. It's going to make everything false kind of crumble around you. And it can be very painful, whereas a karmic relationship is kind of like a spiritual trap. There's a deep spiritual connection there within a karmic relationship, but it's usually linked to past life karma. So the only way to kind of break free from a false karmic relationship is to kind of do the work, and you won't be allowed to move forward on your twin flame journey until you've done enough inner work within that karmic relationship. It's there to serve as a very painful lesson. So there is a big difference between twin flames and karmic relationships. A twin flame will always lead you towards the path of deep soul healing and self-improvement overall, while a karmic relationship or a karmic partner is going to hold you back from reaching your goals. And it can be very hard to tell the difference because a karmic soul contract and a twin flame relationship can be very similar in the vibration that they hold. But a karmic relationship will always hold you back from achieving that inner union from within. And we also have soulmates along the journey, which is a whole other topic altogether that I'm really not going to touch part on today. But I did want to kind of talk about this because I've been seeing so many people calling these toxic karmic soul contracts twin flame when in actuality they're not. Although it is a spiritual connection, it doesn't even compare to being with your twin flame, who is the same soul as you in a physical form. So, twin flames cannot exist without the other. We do spend our entire life searching for that missing half, whether we are consciously aware of that or not. I remember as a child always believing in that one true partner. I always had that vision inside of me that there was this great love of my life that I would someday find. And so although the twin flame journey is not easy, it's actually downright brutal. And, many along the journey have no idea what the heck they are going through when they first encounter their twin. And it does take a toll on both counterparts, especially if you are fortunate enough to actually be one of the chosen ones of the twin flame collective. And twin flame is actually really rare, and that's why I wanted to talk about karmic soul contracts versus twin flame. Because if you are on the journey to meet your true counterpart, you're in for a wake-up call of a lifetime. We are two halves of the same soul, a positive and a negative polarity, the feminine and the masculine. And you can be a man and be a divine feminine, or be, a female and be a divine masculine, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. It really is not gender specific. We have lived many lifetimes playing different gender roles along the journey to reach this ascension, spiritual awakening this lifetime. So a twin flame will actually activate your divine mission, and it will reconnect you to your divine source, where you can become whole again from the inside out. There really is no other connection that compares to this. You can't fuck up a twin flame journey. That true love is there at the core, no matter what goes on along the awakening path. It really is about personal growth. It really isn't to be romanticized, although this will be a romantic partnership like no other you will have ever experienced. once you reach the other side of coming back into alignment. So when we talk about like a counterfeit to a twin flame or a false flame or a karmic soul contract, the terminology can get very muddled, and that can create all kinds of confusion along your twin flame journey. So if I think about it in spiritual terms, a karmic relationship is just very unhealthy. It's very toxic. It's a toxic environment that you're going to feel the need to break away from. And it's not easy to break away from a karmic relationship because there is such a toxic soul bond when it comes to past life karma. So basically a karmic love relationship will be the embodiment of karma. And this is stemming from past lives that is needing to be cleared this life. So many of us, go into separation, and we do go towards karmic soul contracts, which is a big part of the healing work that we do on ourselves to reach twin flame union. So I'm not discrediting a karmic relationship. It is there to serve a purpose along our ascension journey. But within a karmic relationship, it will feel very exciting and fun, very fulfilling. It will feel very high energy, like a destined, fated connection. But it always, always, always turns toxic on both sides. And this is due to past life trauma that we've not been able to move on from, that we are being asked to clear this lifetime. So a karmic partnership will always, always, always hold you back. Not necessarily intentionally or consciously, and it's neither your fault or theirs. It's just there as a continuation to show you the spiritual work that you need to continue on towards in order to reach that true mirror soul, that twin soul this life. And not every twin flame journey will involve a karmic third-party relationship, although it is very common from what I have encountered over the last several years of research and doing astrology charts and synastry charts. So I do want to talk about some of the common hallmarks to kind of differentiate between a karmic and a soulmate connection, or like a twin flame soulmate connection. So first and foremost, you have to have gone through a spontaneous Kundalini awakening. This is without a doubt the number one indicator that you are on a twin flame journey. I experienced a spontaneous Kundalini awakening in the spring of 2019 when we went into separation. Actually, when my divine masculine's heart chakra was activated, he actually did have a heart attack and crossed over. And this is where you have this awakening where it will reveal your cosmic mission. So that's how you know you've truly met your twin flame, is this, it will trigger this Kundalini awakening in you as well as your counterpart. And so it usually does not happen at the same time. Usually the divine feminine experiences the Kundalini activation first. And then we have to kind of go through all of the drudgery of clearing all of the karma through our chakra pathways. So what a spontaneous Kundalini awakening is, it's like the activation of the coiled snake energy at the base of the spine, and it activates a clear pathway through all of your chakra bodies, all the way through the crown, all the way up to the 13th dimension. And so that is a clear indicator that you have encountered a twin flame connection. And many of us go through years of separation trying to come into that aligned energy and clear the pathway in order for the divine masculine to have that Kundalini awakening. So, we usually do not have that activation at the same time. One of us usually has the veil of illusion over our eyes within a karmic relationship. So this does cause enormous, extreme pain for the awakened twin and not being acknowledged by the counterpart. So this is where we kind of come into all of this sacred knowledge of these past life timelines of what this relationship entails, and then grieving the loss of the separation from divine source. If you have not had a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, then you are definitely not on a twin flame relationship. Simple dimple. Simple dimple. And that's how it works. And that's the cold hard truth. So secondly, you do go through the dark night of the soul. Originally, the first dark night of the soul is very dark. it's very depressing. For my first initial dark night of the soul, it lasted about 9 months. And if you think about the Empress energy, it takes us 9 months to birth a child or to birth this new energy. And we usually go through the dark night of the soul several times. But that initial first dark night of the soul will be undeniable. You will be severely depressed. You'll experience states of psychosis. You will just feel like dying and praying that you never ever met this person. But this is where you receive that sacred insight, is in the shadow work of the dark night of the soul. And that's where you kind of understand the connection that you share telepathically with your twin. Instinctively, you're just going to know. The universe will keep bringing forward all kinds of signs and synchronicities. And this is where we learn to release our spiritual ego. And when I look at the collective, so many people are full of spiritual ego. And when I see that outwardly projected, it is quite clear to me that they're really not on a true twin flame journey. We're not here to be full of ourselves. We're kind of here to release clutching the pearls of the past. And, you know, not a lot of people understand the intensity of a true twin flame relationship. And, you know, this is where we kind of do the deep dive of the ego work, of shattering the ego, releasing the ego, and letting go of the spiritual ego. And that is part of the journey. It is unique to your own personal journey. Our love is always unique. Although many of us are on the same ascension journey, a twin flame connection is very rare. It is very unique. And in order for us to release the spiritual ego, we do have to go into the darkness and surrender to this esoteric knowledge that we have been given. And it is given to us telepathically from the higher realities, from our counterparts. So for my journey, this is where you learn to have 100% faith in the process. When my divine counterpart crossed over into the higher realities, basically it was a near-death experience. He had a heart attack. He had to have stents put in, and therefore he blocked the gateway receptor of the journey, because he blocked his heart. And so when he went into crossing over, it was like his soul kind of stayed on the other side, which has been guiding me every single step of the way. My twin has come to me in meditation. I have felt my twin's presence around me. There's been several moments where I've been hitting that rock bottom, dark night of the soul, and I felt my counterpart standing behind me, kissing me on the head. He has spoken to me in waking time. And all of these are, you know, telepathic messages to allow you to find that faith in this connection. You know, many of us on the journey say we want to walk away, and bottom line is, a true twin flame connection, you can never ever walk away. If you want to walk away, then you're triggered, and that's there to show you where you have not surrendered to this process entirely, and where you really don't have faith in the universe that is guiding us to where we need to go. Faith is the one most important aspect of the journey. Faith. If you have no faith, then odds are you're not going to be able to come together in union with your twin this lifetime. Quit wasting money. You can't cast a spell. You cannot, you know, pay somebody to will them back to you. The only way to come into alignment is to clear your chakras. And there's a lot of spiritual charlatans on the journey that you know, use the twin flame journey for a means of financial abundance. And I'm pretty sure there'll be some serious karma to deal with when it comes to people that take advantage of others that are at that rock bottom in the dark night of the soul, trying to find the answers on the twin flame journey. The only way to get to the other side is to connect with source and to come back into alignment and to use your sacred knowledge for the betterment of humanity. Is that say, hey, we don't need to have monetary benefit from our gifts? Yes, we still live in a material world, and we do still have to have that equal exchange of energy, but There are a lot of people out there, fake light workers, that will take advantage of people in their darkest hours. And that is not okay. So do be consciously aware. A true healer will never, ever solicit you for a reading, will never solicit you and say somebody's put a curse on you. None of that. And when we are in the darkness, grasping for answers, we can easily fall victim to these false light workers. So I want you to be aware of that. I don't do this for the money. I do this because this is my mission. Although I am financially rewarded, but that is because I stay in that high vibration. I'm not here to take advantage of everybody. And hey, the knowledge that I share with you, it's either going to resonate or it's not. I'm just here to kind of share my personal experience with you, what I've journaled about, what I know about twin flames from my own personal experience. So if you've been put on a twin flame path, you have no choice but to follow through. You can't actually leave it or walk away. You can try, and then you're going to be met with obstacles and challenges to redirect you back towards coming into alignment and surrendering to the process. This is where we kind of face all of these misguided falsehoods. We strip away all of these outdated beliefs. And this is where we come into our spirituality, is through this spiritual awakening. We do not have free will to walk away from this higher contract. We just don't. And from my own experience, I've tried to move on. I've said many times, I'm done with this journey. I'm walking away. And every time I try to walk away and move on, I'm met with towers. I've tried to move on dating throughout the last several years, and it doesn't get beyond a kiss on the lips before the energy separates and dissipates, because I'm redirected back towards my journey. So if you think you have free will to get off of this twin flame journey, you absolutely do not. That's when the synchronicities come in, flying off the chart. When you try to walk away, the syncs are there smacking you in the face. These are not run-of-the-mill coincidences. Let me be very clear. These are synchronicities off the chart. The universe will scream at you to let you know in no certain terms, are you allowed to abort or abandon this mission? We have no control over it. And this is where we surrender the spiritual ego. We are never, ever in control on this twin flame journey. The universe is. The universe has control. We have no control over what manifests on this twin flame journey. It's to show you your spiritual ego and to show you where you're not on track. So this is where we need to identify why we are a twin flame. And for me, this came in all kinds of self-actualization realizations, all the way back to the realm of the Garden of Eden. I've been to that timeline. I've also been taken to the timeline of Christ. Many divine feminines will be taken to Jesus Christ to be shown the crucifixion, to grieve the crucifixion. Mary and Jesus were counterparts along with Lilith and Adam, and we will be shown these spiritual truths as part of our twin flame assignment. And then we need to learn what it feels like to be mortal after going to the other side of the light. So you will be taken to the light. I was taken to the 13th dimension in waking time. I had no idea at the time what was happening to me. It was a spiral of going up into the merger of the light, spiraling down into the mortal world, of feeling the separation. And this is where we embrace the transition. We are here to embody our light being from the inside out. And we are here to adjust our frequency, to attune to these divine higher frequencies and energies. So it does feel like you can get very stuck along the journey throughout different levels, depending on which timeline you're on. And a lot of the feminines feel very hurt during this process of the divine masculine denying this love. So this is where we experience the ascension, and it feels like, you know, golden angelic wings wrapped around you when you go into the higher realities. And then you kind of got to come back home and go to like rehab, so to speak, when it comes to clearing all of the karma. So we're taken to the divine light. We're taken to the light. We're taken to the truth with spirit. And then we have to bring that truth back down and integrate the karmic lesson. So we are here to learn empathy. Many of us turn off our gifts in early childhood due to trauma, and you know, in order to get to the other side, we do have to remember. And a lot of the twins are here to activate other people along their journey through the twin flame template. But that doesn't mean the people that you've activated are actually twin flames. We do have a very high spiritual mission. We're like spiritual therapists, so to speak. We're here to bring people back home to divine source. We're here to work with the love and the kindness of this divine light to help others remember the lessons that they wanted to come here to learn. And we have to learn these lessons as well. A lot of twins in that very initial dark night of the soul idealize suicidal thoughts because the pain of separation from your true counterpart can be so in-depth and so deep, because the twin flame journey goes light years beyond what unconditional love is understood as in this 3D reality. The love you feel for your twin flame can never ever die away. This connection is eternal, all the way back from the seed point of humanity, the Garden of Eden. And you really can't describe what it is in words. It's a feeling of home. Your twin flame will never ever intentionally hurt you. Although they might get caught up with the veil of illusion within a karmic contract, your twin flame will never ever intentionally hurt you. Although many of us want to stomp away throughout the journey, want to end it. Many of us reach several pitfalls or downfalls where we say, we just can't take this anymore. I'm walking away. And that's when all of these red flags and signs and synchronicities are going to smack you in the face with the universal titties and say, hey, you're not allowed to walk away from this spiritual journey. So if you think you're in a twin flame connection, grab a pen and paper and write down these questions. Ask yourself, have I had a Kundalini awakening? Have I gone through an intense dark night of the soul? Has the purpose of this twin soul connection been made clear to me? Have you been activated when it comes to your purpose and your spiritual mission? My whole world got flipped upside down when I was activated. I used to run a home daycare. I ran a home daycare out of my home. I had never touched a tarot card in my life. I have never heard of twin flames before this activation. I was asleep in a material world and I had no idea what I was in store for. So has the purpose of this connection been made clear to you? Because I had that tower come in and I was not allowed to go back to my normal 3D life. I was kind of forced into my spiritual mission. And this is why I do what I do now. I awoken to all kinds of gifts. The tarot, I understood almost instantly. To be able to read astrology charts without any previous education. All of these gifts were activated. So has that happened to you? Has that been made clear to you? Have you had an actual astrological synastry chart done? Because I can absolutely tell you if you are in a twin flame or a karmic relationship through a synastry chart. And I dig deep. I do the numerology, the astrology, and the human design when I cross-reference and do a synastry comparison to get you that clarity that you are seeking. So these are all big things you got to ask yourself. Have you released your spiritual ego? Have you surrendered control to the divine? Have you given total faith in the process? Have you had your auras or your chakras compared? Have you received the telepathic connection that you do receive on this journey? And do you understand that running away really is nothing more than allowing your divine counterpart to fulfill their karmic debts to others? And we do have karmic debt to fulfill. And we have to kind of clear that this life before we can unite. So, you know, like I said, we're all on different timelines. Do you want to give up? Because I know sometimes I do want to give up. But the very next day, I'm pushed right back into the journey, because we are here to help raise the collective consciousness. We are here to help guide humanity back home to self and into a better place. We are here to ground this 5D earth energy of living a life of compassion. So if you are in a twin flame connection, like I said, there will be that instant connection. It is going to completely change your life. Maybe not for the better right away from the very beginning, but it will completely transform your life. Whereas a karmic relationship will feel like a trap, 8 of Swords trap, like there's no way out. And the only way to get out of that karmic relationship is to do the shadow work enough to be able to move forward on your twin flame journey. So how do you know if you're in a karmic soul contract? This is, never ever easy, but it's always usually in retrospect. So a karmic contract in hindsight will be brutally obvious, and you will say to yourself, oh my God, what the heck was I thinking? I can't believe I thought that was my happily ever after. But at the time of going into these karmic contracts, it's very high energy, and it will seem like this positive life force in your life that is for the betterment. But it will manifest in many different ways that will keep you stuck in a multitude of aspects within your life, especially related to your love life. So karmic partnerships often become very codependent within about the first 6 months of the contract. And one or both will hold each other back from their true counterpart or their true mission. So you might even see flashes of previous lifetimes in dreams and meditations, working through healing all of this past life karma. And you'll feel this deep spiritual block, and you won't be able to focus on gaining momentum and furthering your path. When I was in a very karmic relationship, I was completely drained. I was in the dark night of the soul, and that is where you have these karmic partnerships that are very easily manipulating you and controlling you because you're in that low vibration. And a karmic partner will discourage any other kind of relationships that come in the picture. They'll be very controlling, and they won't want to share you. And you'll feel like your emotions have been muted, shut off, or, dulled. And you'll feel this consistent lethargy or low energy if you're in a karmic contract. And not every relationship outside of a twin flame connection is a karmic relationship, although we have many karmic relationships along the journey that serve as catalysts as part of this awakening process. And then we'll have many soulmates, which are very easy connections. So, and not every connection is a strong spiritual connection, but with a karmic contract, it is a deep spiritual soul tie from a past life that is here to highlight the horrid relationship that you're here to clear and to learn that very painful karmic lesson. So no matter what, a karmic relationship will always turn toxic, and we usually spiral several times over. It often takes us years to break free from a toxic soul contract, because it'll turn toxic, you'll take a break, you'll get back together, it'll be great in the honeymoon phase again, and then it'll turn toxic, and you'll cycle through this pattern several times while this opposite mirror is there to hold you back. But it mirrors a twin flame because of the intensity and the intense attraction. Many of us stay in these unhealthy karmic relationships for longer than we should, sometimes even decades, and we often go back to this karmic partner many times over, even when we know it's not good for us, because of the deep spiritual soul tie that we share from past life karma. So, it's not easy to break free from a karmic relationship. It's not easy to let go of this false twin flame time and time again. And we do have to cycle many times over, breaking those chains, because it's like an addiction. It's like a codependent addiction where you feel like you can't live without them. They really don't make you complete, although that's an illusion that you think. And it really does prevent you from embracing these life changes for the betterment. At the very beginning, a karmic relationship feels wonderful. There's all kinds of love bombing. But that's kind of to get you trapped in a very toxic cycle. And the only way to move on from these karmic relationships is to do that inner shadow work. And the universe, you know, is putting these karmic relationships on our path to show us what we still need to do for that internal work in order to reach that union with your true counterpart. But in order to do that, you have to be willing to release this toxic connection. You have to be willing to let go of your ego and to let go of the past and to let go of your old self that says that you need this person in your life. And it's not easy to do because many of these karmic relationships go on for years. Sometimes you have children with these karmic relationships, which makes the entanglement even more difficult, or the social circle. And these karmic relationships have repeated through many, many past lifetimes, keeping the twins separated. So, you know, the only way to move forward towards your twin flame journey is to come into acceptance of releasing this very toxic trauma bond of running and chasing. And I know that's talked about a lot on the twin flame journey, but in essence, I've never actually chased my counterpart. I've energetically chased, but I'm not physically, you know, stalked or chased or anything like that. So, you know, in order to properly step into healthy love with your twin flame, you have to release all of these negative lifestyles, and you do have to be completely and utterly patient, especially if you're the one that was activated first and awakened first. And, you know, it's very difficult and uncomfortable to break free from these karmic connections, because there is, you know, on the twins' part, deep empathy and love. And, you know, I just want to say, like, anything worth having is also worth, you know, working hard for. And that does ring true when it comes to healing from past relationships and getting on the correct path. But if you are constantly fighting for something that is bringing you nothing but drama and heartache, then I think maybe it's time to reevaluate the relationship that you're in and ask yourself, am I really in a twin relationship, or am I in fantasy land stuck to a toxic, corded, karmic relationship that is really there to put in blocks when it comes to embracing self-improvement? So I just wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit. I know there's some confusion. If you would like to book a Synastry reading with me, I would be more than happy to get that booked in for you, to get you the answers, to get you back on track, to get you back on path. And that's kind of what I got to talk about today when it comes to the hallmarks of a twin flame relationship, guys. I really hope this helped. I really hope this did. If you would like to book a reading, like I said, please feel free to check out that description box below. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.